Hi, I'm Sharon with the Grand Allure Home Group and Remax of Grand Rapids. As a realtor, I get a lot of questions. The number one is, how's the market? But the second one is, what should I do to prepare my house to sell? And it's followed up with, I don't know if I'm going to sell, but just in case I do. That might be a couple years off. So my answer is it really depends, because each and every house is unique. It will depend on your price point, it's the condition of it, how fast you're going to sell. Are you looking to sell in 2 weeks, or are you preparing for 3 years from now? So all those things come into factor, and I would recommend that you talk to a realtor that would be able to help guide you through these things. But in general, there are some things that you could do. The first one is, look at your curb appeal, because if you think about it, a buyer is going to see the exterior of your house on the pictures, and if they like your pictures and they like the location, then they're going to take a drive by. And if your yard is horrible, the condition of the exterior of the house is horrible, they'll just pass it by. So I would take a really good look at your exterior of your house. I'd look at your maintenance, your landscaping, make sure your shrubs are nice, maybe have some flowers. What does your front porch look like? Can you add a wreath or some flowers? Is your yard mowed? Do you have things in the yard? Look at your door. Is it nice and inviting? Is your doorknob, does it feel good when you walk in? Because if you think about it, you want someone to feel warm and invited when they come into your house. How does that feel? Are your windows clean? Are they sparkling from the outside and letting light in on the inside? Another thing that you could look at is your gutters. Are they full of debris? Do they need to be cleaned? Do you have stuff on your roof? And surprisingly, a garage door would be a good investment if it's in fairly bad shape. So if you're looking at what kind of money and where do I put my money, a garage door, surprisingly, you get a 90% return on your investment. And that is actually one of the highest things that you can do. Now, when you get in the house, again, it's kind of house specific, but in general, you want to declutter and depersonalize. So you want to take all the family pictures out. If you like knickknacks, you want less is always more. If you have some things, you just want less is more, because you want people to imagine themselves in your home, and you want it to appear spacious and inviting. So that's what I would do. I would also probably recommend painting the interior of the house to some neutral colors. Even if your house is in neutral colors, if you haven't painted it in a while, there's probably a lot of scuff marks on it, and you may want to paint, because when it's painted, it's fresh and inviting and bright, and it just makes people feel like they want to stay. Right now, the trends are a little bit more towards warm colors rather than the grays that we've seen in the past, so take a look at that. When you're thinking about painting, peach fuzz is the color of the year right now. I'm not suggesting that you paint a whole room or a wall of that, but you want to get some of that color maybe dispersed throughout the house. The other thing that you can do, which isn't necessarily fun to talk about, but it is maintenance and repairs. It's a great thing to hire a handyman, if you need one. I have one that I can recommend, but get all those things that are broken that you're used to living with finished, because when I bring a buyer into a house, I'm always looking for those things, because if the house isn't well maintained on just the little things like light bulbs, squeaky doors, loose doorknobs, outlets that are loose, just little things like that, then you wonder what other things aren't done. So I would recommend just those general repairs. Get a handyman in there to go through all those things that you've had on your honey-do list but haven't been done. Now, depending on your time frame and the age of the mechanicals, you may want to be thinking about, how old is your roof? How old is your furnace? How old is your water heater and your HVAC system? Those are things that it may benefit you to invest in those, and it might be that you don't, depending on the age. Again, that's when a realtor will be able to come in and help you. You don't get a good, as much of a return on the investment, but if they're new, people are going to probably not negotiate over those things, where if they're older, it's something that you're gonna probably take a little bit of a hit on your house. Let's see. The other thing is if you have pets, you want to make things so they look nice. You don't want just a towel with your dog bowls around. Make it look nice and make sure that you don't have any odor. Always think about the nose because pets do sometimes smell. The other thing that I would recommend is finishing your lower level if it isn't. That's another thing that you get a quite high return on your investment, 64%. So if your lower level isn't finished, you might want to consider that. You've probably heard that kitchens and baths sell houses, and that's so true. So make sure your kitchen and bath are functional, they're bright, and they're clean. If you're thinking about doing some updates to the house in the kitchen or bathroom, contact one of us because we'll be able to help navigate through there. There's some things that you can do fairly inexpensively, or you can do things like countertops and things. But if you're selling your house, you probably don't want to do a complete kitchen remodel. But making it look nice is always a good thing. Case in point, I'll tell you a story. I have a client friend who was going to sell her condo, or was thinking about selling her condo, and she wanted to put granite in it, and she wondered if it was a good idea. And honestly, for her, it wasn't, because the condo where it was located at and the price point, she never would have gotten her money back out of the granite. And she didn't even know she was going to move. So I asked her the question, do you want granite? Do you love it? Because if you do, and you're going to be staying there, go ahead and put it in. But if you're doing it just to increase the value of your house and get top dollar in your particular house, it wouldn't be a good idea. So anyway, like I said, there's a couple things you can do. It's really house specific, so I'd reach out to your agent to help them give you a punch list of what you need to do to get the most money possible out of your house.